Imagine Robert. Robert just graduated from law school, and right after his graduation, he starts working at this big-ass law firm. He makes $120,000 a year. That is $10,000 a month. That's a lot of money. For perspective, the average income in the US is less than $60,000 a year. And just for calculation's sake, let's say it's after tax. So Robert had to move to a big city. After several years living in a dorm with someone else, he wanted to have a nice apartment for now. So he pays $4,000 rent per month. And because he has to be presentable now with high-paying clients, he buys some new suits from Brioni and a watch, let's say a Rolex. Since the hours at this new job are long, most of the time he goes eating out afterwards with his colleagues into a restaurant and not the cheap diner around the corner. And afterwards they have drinks in a nice bar. And because his family lives only a few hours away and he is sick of taking the train like he did when he was still a student, he also leases a new car. Now guess how much money he has left at the end of the month? Zero. And yes, it keeps being zero, although he doesn't buy a suit and a watch every month. Now there are several aspects of the situation that can lead to problems. Financial problems. I will dive into 3 of those aspects right now with you. By the way, if you can relate to Robert's story, feel free to hit the like button. Aspect number 1. You have just started a new job and you want to live your life and enjoy your life now that you're finally earning some money. Because as a student, you look probably very frugal. And now at your first job, you think you deserve a better lifestyle than you had as a student. And you do. The problem is, if you continue to spend everything, you will get used to that new lifestyle very quickly. It's called lifestyle creep. Something that was a luxury a few years ago becomes now normal. And once it became normal, it's getting harder and harder to cut back. The solution would be to increase your lifestyle, but not as much as you could. That way it's still more than before, which is good, but at the same time you make sure you can keep that lifestyle further down the line. How could you do that? By immediately saving a portion of your income to a separate account right after you receive your income. Aspect number 2 is overwhelm. I think not a lot of people are aware of that, and it's very subtle because at the same time it hides behind the joy of now having a lot of money that we think we can spend. As a student, you're used to living from hand to mouth, and you're probably also used to a low balance in your bank account. As an example, let's say as a student you had between $100 and $300 on your bank account. Now with this new job, suddenly there's this pile of money in your bank account, and it's almost like you want to get rid of it because you're not used to having this big number in your balance. A solution to this is to put a part of that money out of sight. Like I said, in a separate bank account, and then you could slowly get used to seeing those growing numbers over time. And aspect number 3 is not thinking ahead. I mean, Robert's life sounds spectacular. He's having a great job. He enjoys all the beautiful things that life has to offer. And maybe you also think that it's always going to be like that. In behavioral science, that's called the status quo bias. It's that we rather would like things to stay as they are. But let's stay with Robert for a minute. Maybe 5 years ahead from now, he doesn't enjoy his job as much as he does now. Maybe he begins to have health issues, mental health issues, and he needs some time off. Maybe something happens to his firm and he has to leave. And even though he is a lawyer and probably doesn't have to get back to a job that pays like $7 an hour, it still might take him some time to find something new. And the problem is that if you keep spending everything, there's no security, there's no freedom of choice. And there's also opportunity cost, because by actively or passively choosing to spend everything, Robert misses out on becoming a millionaire earlier in life. And the solution to this is to start thinking ahead. Ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years from now or in 10 years from now? Build financial knowledge and, for example, set up a system around your income and your finances to slowly building up wealth, to slowly build up that net of financial security and maybe even financial independence. Do you feel like you have established a few bad habits when it comes to money since your first job? Then you might enjoy this video as well, which is all about bad money habits. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.